I will show you the kit, what's inside of it, how to use it, how to collect your sample, how to process it, also the time of processing and delivery, in this case from the UK to the US, so the results and the view of the reports that you get after. Also, I'll approach a bit of the scandals about losing 6.9 million user genetic data. They were hacked. And the strategies to make money for the shareholders now they are public shareholder company. What started with the good intention of genetic revolution to the great of humanity become another subscription money grabbing system. Is this for you? Well, I'll start with some more stories about this, quite funny some of them. There are also positives. They do supply good reports, and I did use their service, and information can give you some clue about some latent issues and start taking some action, just like
some of the genetic testing that we did looked at a gene for...
I can give you clues of the best way to lose weight according to your genetics. Just have a look on the time markers of this video. I will show you each subject and how to go there if you're not interested in some part. See you then. Now let's talk about the stories. There is a lot of parents are not their real parents, or okay, there are some betrayals and can be complicated sometimes. Sometimes you can find out that you have other families, or just your grandfather just ran away and raise another family a few houses down below, or change village even and raise another bunch of kids. Like, can be interesting good or interesting bad. Today we're just going to show you the 23andMe kit. Now I'll expose a little more things about pros and things again. The company is not behaving very well, so do have attention. If you got some issues, don't go for this kit. Let's just open the box. I'm ready. Nice reception. Hey, how are you? What? Explaining what to do with it, giving instructions. That's why I'm here, making things a bit easier. We need to register it, spit on it, screw the cap, seal in the bag, post. It's quite simple. Nice box. We're gonna use the box to send it back. Open. Probably the plastic bag. Comes in this lovely package. Nothing extraordinary. I'm gonna show you the code, but I'm gonna register these numbers just to confirm. Correct. They're waiting for my sample. Just comes the spitting part now. So you need to feel it there. It's a lot of saliva anyway. Just to have attention, they do advise not to eat half an hour before you do this or drink anything. I'm clear for now. I'm quite hungry at the moment, to be honest. And let's the spitting games begin. Okay, got enough in there. I don't know if I want to show this. Fill to the top part, and now comes the easy part for the instructions. You need to close this lovely thing. You see this liquid? This is the reagent. Fill it. Now you take it off, close it, put it back in the box. Put it inside of this thing. You open like that. Sticker. Cool. Okay, now I have to ship it in the box. I'm gonna close it in here. Put it there. Got this lovely pill here. Find a box for it. Okay, and it's done.
Just posted by Royal Mail and done.
Finally, I received my report. About time this from the UK. Send everything on the 25th. On the 19th of February, get to Bedford. 25 days to get there. Very inefficient. Post in here? I don't know what happened. There was some strike. Then from Bedford to Los Angeles, where the lab is, 7 days. Then for them to process my data around 14 days in the 9th of March. Then I got my genotypes. This was an upgrade of chip V4 to the V5, so introduce some details. Immediately greeted with Get Me 23 and Me Plus. Whatever, they're already trying to sell you more things. Not much interesting things in here. A genetic tests say identify things from ancestry, health and traits, some research, family, and your connection. I also will talk about the service, how it works, and the controversy as their data leakage tactics to earn more money. Now they become a public stock company. Why research investigation sometimes should be separated from the money part. But anyway, let's talk about the good things. They do provide good reports and they justify it. Proper hard science. Okay, let's have a look on my ancestry composition. That's one of the things you can access quite easily. But in my case, as you can see, it's a bit boring. Quite different from initial one. I'm Irish British, but now it says I'm from mostly from the north side of the country, and I'm 99.6 European, and I got a bit trace of Arab Egyptian. That's it. You have to have attention. The European genotype consider a region, not just this region is kind of included on this genotype, and they give different colors for it. In America is all yellow, but here they kind of diverse. But anyway, in my case, my ancestry is quite boring. And if you go to ancestry overview, you can see things. I don't think all these things are very interesting. historical match, but you need the premium. But I think I know what it is. DNA relatives, I'm not gonna show them, but I got a bunch of cousins. I do think my Neanderthal ancestry is quite interesting, and they've been extinct for a long time, but I don't have much pride with it. It's an interesting genetic variants. Generally, not feeling hungry when hungry. I'm not 100% sure. Being less likely to have itchy hiker thumb. I'll show you an image of it. You have one variant associated with being better sprinter than distant runner. Marathon's not for me. Two variants associated being less likely to prefer salty foods over sweet. That's kind of wrong. I love salty food, so but my Neanderthal says no. But anyway, you being most likely to sweat during workouts. Yes, being less likely to blush easily. Eating leafy greens less frequent, being more likely for dark chocolate over milk chocolate, 100%. Being likely to sneeze after eating dark chocolate. Wonder why that would even be a thing, but my wife suffers from this, having difficulties carrying readily used possessions. That's pretty annoying. So you can see there's quite a broad characteristics, stretch marks, show you where the markers are and what each copy means, and identifies each gene. That's overview.
Health predisposition.
Gives you a few things. In my case, I got this one's variant detected but not increased. It means carrier, but I don't have it. Celiac disease, it means I wouldn't tolerate anything that got gluten. Slightly increased. I don't think I suffer from it. Late onset of Alzheimer's disease, that's an important thing why I got this report. It's open here. I have to say they give a really good explanation in here. Memory loss, cognitive decline, personality changes. It's not you forgetting about the key, it's you forgetting what a key does when you have it in your hand, okay? So it's not like your normal memory loss. This is way beyond that. I have 4.7% developed late onset by the age of 75 and 23% at the age of 85. That's pretty darn odds. But like they say, it doesn't mean I'm going to suffer from it. Other interesting facts, the lifestyle and other factors for Alzheimer's disease, for example, age, sex, women are more frequent, family history, so high cholesterol, type 2 diabetes, increase the risk, maintaining normal blood pressure and having Alzheimer's risk, increase of health diet is associated with a decreased risk, and intellectual activity. I think this was a few studies they've done. They find out people had very academic lives or very active, they didn't suffer the symptoms from like other people. Signs and symptoms, memory loss, worsen over time, mood, personality changes, that's where I think. Trouble in planning, solving problems, confusion with place and time, difficulty performing daily life activities, but more aggressive. It's not just the normal memory loss. Again, it's all Americans. 1 in 10 Americans age 65 is affected by. Elderly Africans and American Hispanics more develop these conditions. Having an account there, lifestyle is bad in those countries. As the guy, the artist from Thor, yeah, we suffer from the same thing. So we got the APOE gene.
Some of the genetic testing that we did looked at a gene for a protein called ApoE. You have a very rare combination, which is you have 2 copies of ApoE4.
And what does that mean exactly?
That means you have an increased risk of Alzheimer's disease.
So I'm not just exactly like him. I had just 1 copy of ApoE4, and like I said before,
APOE gene
still makes me having some risk. Not as higher as him, higher than the normal population.
They also have an action plan. They'll lose a few questions, but I'll explain this in another video. So health traits, I think is really good. Does present points you the risk. I think some people wouldn't like it, but to be honest, I am quite interested in this information. Others, chronic kidney disease, colorectal cancer, high cholesterol, Parkinson's disease, prostate cancer, it's under their paywall again. BRCA and BRCA2, normally related with breast cancer. Type 2 diabetes, I was quite interesting because I know it kind of runs in my family. So it does explain I got a likelihood of developing between 41 and 80. 16%, to be honest, quite low. But they do point out, and you can see here by age, mostly around 50s and 60s will be where most people develop by the statistics, okay? And they have this tool, for example, calculate, see your BMI, losing a small amount of weight, get active, healthy food, what to avoid, don't smoke, talk with healthcare, consider diabetes program. Good information in here. You can go to the scientific studies and find the justification for all these things. Carrier status. For example, if you want to have a kid with someone, some genetic diseases and you're worried, you can go through this. And you got a lot of information in here. I'm not going to read all of them, but in this case, me and my wife don't have any. So yeah, positive thing when you can carry some of those things. Wellness, alcohol reaction, I don't like to flush, caffeine consumption. I think before they would just say I'm a slow metabolizer. That would be the reason, to be honest. I can drink coffee. It takes ages to get out of my system and interferes with everything with me. So it just says here I'm likely to consume less, and it got very good information about why. And you can go to the scientific details and it will give you what gene is referred to. Other things probably could interesting people, genetic weight, about average. Even it says for me, the average weight will be 176 pounds. That's around 80 kilos. That's way above. I'm like 65 kilos. So I'm guessing that's average American with my height. And very interesting advice, as you see in here. Change of these habits made a big weight loss by genetics. Stop eating red meat less, avoiding fast food, exercising, sleeping amount. You can see the associations in here. Exercise, sleep, good amount, ate vegetables. Just imagine stress, eating yogurt, ate fish, ate fruit are not the biggest ones. Red meat, fast food, and exercise and sleeping amounts could be different for other people based on that genetic test. I think that's like an important thing to have. Maybe it'll give you some information why you're struggling so much in losing weight. Because most of the advice is quite general. Muscle composition, lactose. I'm likely to gain weight when I eat saturated fats, so fast food, and lactose intolerant. Probably I don't like milk that much or drink it. So in traits, I got quite a few reports. Back hair, bald spot. You can see there's many things. Dandruff was quite interesting. I do suffer early hair loss for males. This is quite interesting. This gives me certain information. And like you do experience hair loss, I think before age 40. I'm above 40 now, so I'm starting to have the effects. Yay, before 40 I was kind of okay. Earwax, I got wet, sticky earwax. Means no headphones for me. My eye color gives you the statistics. No blue eyes for me. Freckles, hair photo bleaching means I get blonde or in the sun, and that's true. Texture in my hair, mostly I'm wavy and I get curl when it grows more. My hair is light brown. As a newborn, I didn't have much hair. Red hair. See, I think 1% is a bit too much for me. Skin pigmentation, I'm quite light, but if I catch sun, I'll get browner. Good. I will not suffer stretching marks, but it's interesting for people that maybe associate with the genetics. You can see the full reports from each one. I got for taste and smell, asparagus odor. I can smell asparagus. Bitter taste, likely. Cilantro, taste aversion. Oh, but I like cilantro, so guessing it's with the culture. Ice cream flavor, 50-50. Vanilla or chocolate ice cream. I think they should remove it. And I do prefer salty foods way more. Musical pitch, 50-50. That's like, oh yeah, we have it or you don't have it. Kind of a bit of a waste, so it doesn't really say anything. I don't have it. I'm completely tone deaf. Bunions, fear of height, not really. Flat feet, hair thickness, mesophobia. 2H sounds, I don't. Mosquito, to be honest, my wife attracts them, I don't. Motion sickness, less likely. I do get sick, to be honest. Wake up times around 7:50. I think it's correct. Other things I think interesting is in connections, in family and friends. I do connect to my wife and some friends I have. Not showing, but if you open, you can send messages and we'll compare like the places you're from, profiles, East Asian, and you can see Filipino, Chinese, got a bit of that. I'm mostly European, I got a bit of Arab and our groups, Neanderthal, and you can see why she's so obsessed in keeping stuff. All my things that I have problems, she doesn't, so it's okay. Except we type 2 diabetes, and she got increased, so thank God she got a healthy diet. Carrier status, we have absolute none. Traits, she can match musical pitch, definitely. So basically in here, it gives you some characteristics why some things would be different. She does wake up quite later than me. That explains why we don't like coffee, for example. We are deep sleepers and we don't move much when we are asleep. That's a good thing. Another thing in your profile resources. So some reports are a bit more sensitive and they don't give immediately. You need to complete some tutorials because I think some people were genetic risk tutorial. They were taking, oh, I have this gene, I'm gonna cut my breast or something like that, or I'm just gonna suicide myself. I cannot live like this. Attention, there can be many reasons why people will react in certain extreme ways, but they do explain you all the things, and then you unlock even the carrier status, because some people are carriers, doesn't mean they have the disease. You do have to complete those 5 to have access to the Alzheimer, Parkinson's, and the BRCA genes. So, because I think some people are taking things to extreme, so they kind of protect themselves like this. Also, the 23andMe Plus, maybe just for a year. There are some articles, some issues with this. Apparently, they are renewing the subscriptions of people that cancel them or didn't want to renovate, and they just renovate automatically. People are pissed off, of course. The company says no. Yay. Anyway, they do present the things that's a bit annoying, like historical matches, LTRAC, pharmacogenic reports. They used to give this. Premium health report, advanced DNA features. This is a bit broad, and it's a bit bad they are not giving things before. They have your data, and you could authorize them to do research on it. That should be the incentive for this company and to achieve things with this. And they could earn money from patents and new medications they develop and treatments. But instead, they're trying just to make money from subscriptions and marketing stupid tactics. Problem of American companies, to be honest. And they did archive some things, because I did previously DNA reports archive, and I'll share this link anyway in the description, and you can access your archive report. I can show you my archive report. As you can see, I have the drug response, for example, from omeprazole, lansoprazole, got a rapid metabolism, hypersensibility is increased to abacavir, I think it's anti-inflammatory, and the rest I have a normal reaction. I don't know if they include more drugs now with the Plus subscription. As you see, they used to give this. Some things they did remove. Things they used to give was this Ipospadias, and now maybe some of these reports are not really updated, but still kind of includes the same information. Let's remove a few things. Iris patterns. I think all this being removed. Response to exercise, tooth development, monarch, hair thickness, memory. Some of these things have been removed and put under the wall of the payment subscription. And that's quite annoying, to be honest. And even to access this is a bit of a trick now. There is. Another thing you can do is to access on resources, is to access your raw genotype data. So the company was in problems because they stole a lot of data of a lot of people. Now you need to say you want your genetic, and it will take a few days, but they do supply it and you can use it in other services. If the company is going to try to suck more money out of you, that's bad if they use this information. And in this case, this company is doing that because it became a public company. I think I'll talk more about the bad things of the company and problems. So in general, very good service. It gives you very important information. But I think they lost their ethos, very controversial decisions. Membership, about to take more money from the members, subscription model. Everything now becomes subscription, nothing is your own. Using the information because they become a public company, now they're interested in making money, so it makes it a bit dodgy why they have your information and they keep it, what uses they can sell it for. And it's not just about research and development now. So it makes this company a bit lost in what was their principle in the beginning. Do advise for some people. I do not advise if you have some lost or dubious parenthood or some issues in your family. Maybe you're gonna find out some disturbing things, but that's like a case for another video. God, I've been talking with full saliva. Disgusting. Okay, or there's a very interesting story of someone that received the information that they were not their parents and they think it was a bit odd, and another person was thinking they were related, but they just find out the company kind of switched the tests and mess up the thing. Oh well. So be careful.